You know, we live in this wild era of rapid digital transformation, where literally everything is connected. It's amazing, right? But that incredibly frictionless connectivity, it comes with a serious hidden cost if it isn't managed proactively. Today, the very systems that power our economy, our well-being, and just our everyday convenience, they're constantly under siege.
So think about this for a second. What do an MRI machine, an inventory robot, and your mobile banking app actually have in common? On the surface, absolutely nothing. But structurally, underneath the hood, they all share a rapidly expanding, highly vulnerable digital attack surface. These seemingly random, everyday conveniences are actually all potential entry points for opportunistic cybercriminals. And honestly, the stakes for securing them have never been higher.
It's the ultimate digital double-edged sword. We all want frictionless conveniences, right? Open banking APIs, immediate telemedicine, automated checkout lines. But here's the catch. Every single new digital service, every third-party integration, and every new connected smart device acts as a brand new doorway. And you better believe hackers are out there constantly scanning for those doors to pry them open. The more we digitize, well, the more we expand our attack surface, creating these massive, complex environments that are incredibly difficult to lock down.
Let's look at how things have changed. Traditional security is entirely reactive. You build a firewall, install some antivirus software, and essentially, you just wait for an attack to happen and try to stop it. Well, that simply doesn't work anymore. Modern threats exploit unmanaged internet-connected assets, incredibly sophisticated AI-generated deepfakes, and complex supply chain vulnerabilities. We can't just build a digital wall and hide inside the castle anymore. We have to be proactive. We literally have to hunt down and continuously manage these complex vulnerabilities before they're ever exploited by malicious actors.
Section 1. Finance. High-stakes security.
In this sector, we aren't just talking about someone stealing your password anymore. The sheer sophistication of attacks in finance is frankly staggering. Cybercriminals are now routinely deploying AI-generated deepfake voice technology to bypass biometric security, completely tricking systems into believing they're the actual account holder. But you know, perhaps the most insidious threat out there is the man-in-the-browser attack. This is a type of malware that can silently modify your transaction amounts and change the recipient's account number right under your nose. Your screen still shows the original, correct details, so you hit approve completely unaware that your funds are being routed to an offshore account. It's totally invisible to the customer.
Now, if you think these attacks are just about skimming individual checking accounts, we need to think bigger. The infamous Bangladesh bank cyber heist proved exactly how attackers infiltrate internal banking systems to initiate massive fraudulent international money transfers. They didn't just target a single user, they dismantled the core infrastructure. These attackers patiently mapped out the network, stole highly privileged Swift credentials, deployed remote backdoors, and even systematically deleted the bank's security logs to cover their tracks, all while draining nearly $1 billion. It's a terrifying reminder that these attackers are playing a long, highly coordinated game.
Section 2. Healthcare. A life-saving defense.
Hospitals are actually fighting a vicious two-front war every single day. On the technical side, you have unpatchable legacy medical devices. We're talking about vital monitors and critical imaging systems running software that is easily 10 or even 20 years old, often operating with a severe lack of basic encryption for patient data. Then, on the human side, you have medical professionals who are, of course, brilliant experts in medicine, but maybe not in cybersecurity. They're constantly targeted by highly sophisticated phishing emails. So, hospital IT teams are stuck in this brutal position, defending outdated, fragile clinical systems while simultaneously trying to shield a totally overwhelmed staff from catastrophic human error.
And let's be clear, a compromised healthcare system isn't just an IT headache. Imagine a life-saving surgery being delayed because a networked MRI machine or an automated infusion pump is suddenly locked down by ransomware. It forces doctors to revert back to slow, inefficient paper-based workflows while precious minutes tick by for a critical patient. Or consider the exposure of protected health information. Unlike a stolen credit card, a compromised medical history can't just be canceled and reissued, right? Once that highly sensitive data is out there, the damage is permanent. Cybersecurity in healthcare is fundamentally, undeniably, a core patient safety issue.
Section 3. Retail. Securing connected commerce.
Okay, moving on to retail. Modern connected commerce relies completely on operational technology working flawlessly behind the scenes. We're talking about smart security cameras, electronic shelf labels, automated inventory robots, HVAC controllers, and point-of-sale terminals. But there's a massive hidden blind spot here. These unmanaged Internet of Things devices often just cannot run standard antivirus software. They simply don't have the computing power for it. That makes them invisible gateways. An attacker could literally compromise a vulnerable smart thermostat in a physical store just to pivot laterally into the main corporate network and strike the centralized financial systems.
Because retail relies so heavily on constant, real-time connectivity between physical stores and the cloud, even a brief ransomware outage can completely paralyze the entire supply chain. It halts global sales instantly. Add in the immense black market value of stolen customer loyalty data and payment credentials, and you've got a perfect recipe for disaster. A successful attack destroys hard-earned customer trust in a heartbeat, resulting in massive, immediate, and long-term revenue loss that, honestly, some brands never truly recover from.
Section 4. Proactive Vulnerability Management. So what's the solution? It's vulnerability management, the continuous process of identifying, managing, prioritizing, and eliminating cybersecurity risks before they become exploitable. Think of it like this. Instead of buying a louder alarm system to alert you when a burglar is already standing right in your hallway, it's the practice of continuously checking all the locks, reinforcing the windows, and fixing structural weak points long before that burglar ever steps onto your property. It's all about knowing exactly where you're vulnerable and closing those gaps proactively, rather than waiting for a breach to force your hand.
This is the security lifecycle that transforms overwhelming enterprise IT chaos into a manageable, continuous loop. Step 1. Discover assets. You absolutely cannot protect what you don't know you have, right? Especially those hidden retail IoT devices or legacy hospital systems we talked about. Step 2. Identify vulnerabilities within those assets. 3. Assess and prioritize the risks based on actual business context. 4. Remediate the flaws. 5. Validate that the fix actually worked. And 6. Monitor continuously. Because the minute you finish, the environment shifts and a brand new vulnerability emerges. It literally never stops.
Section 5. Building cyber resilience. Proactive exposure management allows organizations across all these sectors to practice intelligent prioritization. Look, no IT team has the resources to fix everything, and not every vulnerability poses the same risk. This process lets teams focus heavily on business impact, like fixing a critical, unpatched payment server before worrying about some low-risk glitch on a non-essential internal wiki. It ensures strict regulatory compliance, like PCI DSS 4.0 for retail and stringent EPHI protections in healthcare. And crucially, it manages continuous third-party risk, keeping organizations resilient against those devastating supply chain attacks that might originate from partner vendors who just don't take security as seriously. At the end of the day, we rely entirely on connected systems for our lives, our money, and our goods. As our shared digital footprint expands by the second across banking, healthcare, and retail, proactive vulnerability management isn't just some IT best practice anymore. It's literally the only thing keeping the modern world running smoothly. The stakes are monumental, and let's face it, the adversaries are ruthless. So I'll leave you with this. Are we fixing our vulnerabilities before the attackers find them?